Hello, my name is Wojciech Borowski, and I have the great pleasure to invite you to our big data discussion, first presentation, then expert discussion, brought to you by SKM SAR. To begin with, it's quite obvious that we're living in the digital age. Which is a bit less obvious is that currently big data has become a part of this digital age. One of the reasons being is every time you do a Google search, every time you purchase something in the internet, every time you use your credit card, every time you buy something or make a wire transfer, or any time that you upload something to your social media, you're actually becoming a part of big data. And this is something quite important to realize. On top of this, big data in 2014 will be a $16 billion business worldwide. And what is even more interesting, by the end of 2015, it's expected to be a $48 billion business, creating 4.5 million jobs worldwide. So with the dynamics and the evolution of big data and the disruption that it will be building into business, society, and politics, it's something that is good to understand it. It's also fantastic to discuss it, as there are many questions coming about. One of the questions that we have in the enthusiasts for big data say that it's fantastic due to the fact that it's so efficient, effective. It lets us understand better human behavior. On the other hand, what we have is we have the whole discussion on privacy. Even taking it further, some people say that now in the digital age, the word private has ceased to exist. And this is why we meet today. We meet today to discuss this and have a fantastic, I hope, 1.5 hours. I would like to introduce to you, first of all, Amy Gershkoff, who will begin today with a presentation on big data and its influence. Amy is currently the Analytics and Insight Director at eBay, coming to us from San Francisco. Previous to that, many of you and all of us have followed the first and the second campaign of Baracka Obama, which obviously was quite successful. Amy was the architect of this campaign in utilizing big data and developing micro-targeting for the election success.
It is a great honor to be here today with all of you and to have the privilege of talking with you about the future of big data. So what is big data? To different people, it means different things. To some people, it means the internet, or social media, or digital analytics, or data analytics, or data science. Today, I'm going to talk about many of these topics, and I will argue that all of these are overwhelmingly a force for good. I will discuss how data and analytics are empowering people across the globe, expanding opportunities in government, society, and commerce. Digital technology and data-powered services allow regular people, just like you and me, to operate a global business right from their own home. All they need is access to the internet. Big data enables services that just a few years ago were a luxury, to be delivered to the doorstep of regular people at affordable prices. And as President Barack Obama would say, big data enables you to create the change you wish to see in the world. One aspect of big data is the internet. And the internet is, without question, the greatest democratic force of our time. The internet is empowering regular, everyday citizens in countries across the globe to get directly involved in their political systems. It's enabling the average citizen to know what legislation their leaders are considering, whom their leaders are meeting with, and whose financial contributions are having an influence in government. The internet and social media are literally combining to put power back into the hands of the people. The idea of democracy and of revolution, of ordinary citizens banding together to change their system of government, is not new. In fact, we sit here at this very moment, as many of you know, just a few kilometers from Gdansk, the birthplace of modern democracy in Eastern Europe. And as you all know so well, When Lech Walesa scaled the shipyard fence, he gave rise to a movement, and that movement swept across Poland and across Eastern Europe. It created the downfall of the Soviet Union and the opening to Western people, values, and businesses. But Lech Walesa did not need Facebook or the internet or Twitter to ignite a revolution. All he needed was the courage of his convictions, the power of his ideas, and the will to go and fight for change. But today, social media and the internet are unquestionably accelerating change and empowering people who want to change their political system all across the globe. By all accounts, the Arab Spring revolutions that swept across North Africa and the Middle East, from as far west as Morocco to as far east as Iraq, accelerated significantly because social media put information into the hands of the people, and it did so rapidly and even instantaneously. In March of 2011, at the height of the protests in Egypt and Tunisia, a survey found that 9 out of 10 Egyptians and Tunisians were using social media, specifically Facebook, to organize protests or spread awareness about the protests. And between January and April of 2011, the number of users on Facebook in Egypt jumped 30% compared to the previous year. And for several months, the most popular hashtags on Twitter in that region all had to do with the protests. In fact, in just 3 months, the hashtag protest was used more than 650,000 times in the region. Social media powered change throughout the region. And this technology-driven people power is not so much about good or bad, as it is that it is now a fact that digital technology is increasing the reach and power of individuals all over the globe. And as both a data scientist and a political scientist, I can see how powerful social media and digital technology have become and how much they will continue to shape the landscape going forward. But the internet is not just accelerating revolution. It's also enabling citizens in perfectly stable democracies to have real-time insight into government policy. Nearly all Western democracies now have websites that allow citizens to see legislation under consideration by their government, including searching the full text of bills before they're even voted on. I've provided a few examples here, but these sorts of sites are now prevalent all across the globe, from Australia to the United States to many countries in Western Europe. And in addition, in the United States, the government has also created an online database of all political campaign donations. By analyzing this data, regular, everyday citizens can observe who is financially supporting their political leaders. Open Congress, which is a nonprofit in the United States, has taken this idea one step further. And they've published online the schedules of all meetings between lobbyists and American congressional leaders. Publishing this sort of data creates transparency. It creates transparency about how lobbyists may influence members of Congress and gives ordinary people real insight into the political process. But of course, the internet is not only changing governance, it's also changing how politicians campaign for elected office. My former boss, President Baracka Obama, fundamentally changed forever how campaigns use data. His campaign represented the most cutting-edge use of big data by any political campaign in history, and I am so proud to have been a part of that strategy. One of the greatest innovations in Obama's campaign was putting voter data into the hands of other voters. Using the neighbor-to-neighbor mobile application, Obama supporters could see which of their neighbors needed persuading to vote for Barack Obama, and then go knock on their doors and talk to them using a campaign-approved script. The Obama campaign used digital technology and data analytics to empower individuals to go campaign for change. And this innovation fundamentally changed the nature of political campaigns. He put the power of persuasion into the hands of the people who were most likely to be persuasive, your own friends and neighbors. And that democratization of data led to change for America. Another aspect of big data is digital analytics. And digital analytics has been a democratizing force. It has enabled offline, upscale luxury to be offered online at scale to regular, everyday people. And digital analytics has democratized luxury, making it no longer the sole purview of the elite and wealthy. As an example, imagine for a moment you are walking into a 5-star hotel. You approach the concierge to inquire about restaurant reservations, tickets for local attractions, and transportation. The concierge listens and then assists you with recommendations tailored to your specific tastes, price point, and interests. And he then assists you with booking a reservation for dinner, procures tickets for you to the evening's ballet, and finds a car service to take you to all of these destinations. Previously, this kind of concierge service, tailored specifically for you, was available only to the very wealthy. But now, thanks to lots of mobile applications like TripAdvisor, OpenTable, and dozens of others, ordinary people can also receive tailored recommendations specific to them. These restaurant recommendations can be tailored to your desired cuisine, location, price point, and reservations can be made with the click of a button right from your mobile phone. Potential lodging can be selected, again, right from your mobile phone based on your unique tastes and preferences. It's a concierge right at your fingertips, even if you're not the least bit wealthy. And that's the democratization of luxury. Similarly, if a very wealthy person were to throw a party, she might, at very great expense, hire a band or a DJ to play music at the event. And the band she hires would play a hand-picked selection of music, tailored to her specific tastes and preferences. But now people all over the globe can have this same personalized music selection through services like Pandora or iTunes Radio. Ordinary people can create their very own radio station with a curated, personalized selection of music that could be comprised of artists that span many continents and genres of music that span decades, all in one place and all personalized just for you. It's the democratization of luxury. In America, many Hollywood celebrities have their own personal stylist. These stylists, such as Rachel, pictured here, will hand select particular ensembles that suit the specific tastes and preferences, sizes, and body shape of the celebrity. And the stylist will create a complete red carpet look, including not only the dress, but also the shoes and the jewelry, the accessories, sometimes even makeup and hairstyle advice. All of this personalized look is created for an enormous fee. But today, anyone can have their own personal stylist. One example depicted here is called Trunk Club. It's a stylist service that's exclusively for men. And one of my colleagues is a member of Trunk Club, Dave. And you can see here his online stylist, Megan, has selected a look that she feels he might like based upon his specific tastes and preferences. She has all of his measurements, and each month, she sends him a few items personally selected just for him. If he doesn't want to keep them, he may return them free of charge. Stitch Fix is a similar service that's offered exclusively for women. It has the same basic business model. But the ingenuity here is that Megan, Dave's personal stylist, can be offered affordably at scale. She's not really just a personal shopper for Dave. In fact, thousands of people, or perhaps even tens of thousands of people, probably refer to Megan as their own personal stylist. What makes this possible is big data. Data science algorithms review and analyze Dave's behavior. And over time, they determine the optimal clothing items that he is most likely to enjoy and to keep. That enables Megan to scale. She appears to be hand-selecting items for Dave, but in reality, she's using big data algorithms to create shipments of clothing for Dave that have the appearance of being hand-curated. It's mass-produced, affordable luxury delivered right to your doorstep. Now imagine you have a butler. The butler is on call 24 hours a day. This butler will do your bidding, fetching anything you might need at any hour of the day or night. Today, that service is available for everyone right from your mobile phone. Through apps like TaskRabbit, you can bid on individual services that might be performed by a butler if you were wealthy. These services might range from picking up your dry cleaning, to shining your shoes, to buying a bottle of wine and gift wrapping it and hand delivering it to a friend of yours. With services like TaskRabbit, all of this is available at very reasonable prices. People post tasks to this application that they need done, and other people bid for the opportunity to complete those tasks, and the lowest bidder wins. It's an on-demand butler for the masses. So far, I've described how the internet and data analytics are enabling people across the globe to be connected to the things that delight them, all for affordable prices. But the impact of the internet and of data analytics is having consequences for global commerce that extend far beyond the ability to bring affordable luxury to ordinary people's doorsteps. The internet and data analytics are powering a new, more inclusive kind of globalization. The online economy is enabling ordinary people to run extraordinary global businesses, all right from their own homes. The digitization of commerce is fueling trade like never before in our global history. And digitized commerce is literally expanding the global economy, adding billions of GDP every single year. The internet has been a tremendous stimulant for cross-border trade, which in turn has been a tremendous stimulant for our global economy. Since 2005, the amount of online cross-border trade has increased nearly 20 times over. Online cross-border trade has enabled people in the most remote parts of the world to have access to the products they need and love from all across the globe. It's united people and cultures tens of thousands of miles apart, all with the click of a mouse. It's given every single person on Earth with access to the internet the opportunity to buy billions of items they need and love from all over the planet. In essence, online cross-border trade has democratized globalization, giving people of every nation a seat at the table. This democratization of globalization has given ordinary people the ability to start extraordinary businesses with the same worldwide reach as large, established global corporations. Anyone with access to the internet can start a business right from their own home. And millions of people globally have done this, selling everything from hardware to toys to jewelry to various housewares. One example depicted up here is my friend Michelle. She started a global cosmetics business called Hottie Cosmetics right out of her home in Virginia. Today, her small business is having global reach and impact in two ways. Not only can customers from all over the globe buy her products online, but she also donates half the proceeds from her sales to fight domestic violence and raise awareness about this issue on a global scale. Michelle's success and the success of millions of other Michelles is made possible because of the acceleration of online commerce and cross-border trade. Digital commerce has not only enabled small businesses to have reach on par with large global corporations, it has also enabled online businesses to have even greater reach than their offline counterparts. As this graph shows, between 2 and 25% of typical offline businesses might engage in cross-border trade, whereas in those same markets, between 98 and 100% of online businesses will engage in cross-border trade. And importantly, this is true both for businesses in developed as well as developing countries. Pictured here are just a few of the dozens of mobile apps that allow customers to scan a barcode for a product that they might purchase and receive instantaneous information about a company's environmental impact and their labor practices. Going forward, mobile apps like these will become much more prevalent all over the globe, empowering citizens to make more informed purchase decisions. A recent study by the Pew Research Center found that millennials are the most sustainably conscious generation yet. Millennials are more likely to be willing to pay for environmentally responsibly made products than any previous generation. And their willingness to pay higher prices for green and sustainable products even extends to low-income millennials. I see this brilliant future all powered by data analytics, and I am looking forward to being a part of it. Thank you so much.